Survival, and today I want to show you our new installation on Tracer. It happens to be the new solar controller and solar panel. We haven't had solar on Tracer, we just carry a mobile 100 watt panel with us, and the opportunity arose for us to get 330 watts of solar in 2 panels and a 30 amp controller that is right behind me. Let's have a look. So yes, it's a 30 amp PWM controller. It's not something that I would have gone with before. The reason why is because I really do like MPPT, maximum power point tracking, but this has actually been surprising. The sun is going down, so the panels are definitely not in direct sunlight. What we've got going on is power. Sorry for the glare. Let's see if I can get rid of that. So power on, we have charging going on, and we can tell that by the panel right there and the battery. Then we've got full, 3/4, half, quarter. We can go into here and change the battery type. There's quite a few ranges, so if we hit this for 3 seconds, we can then go wet, calcium, lithium ion, which is quite nice for the future. I can't actually see that one. LTO, not sure what that one is, I'll research that. Gel, AGM, very similar idea, and wet, because we're running 4 6-volt lead acid batteries. Voltage, 3.7 volts. We have 1 amp coming in, and we also got this power bar at the top telling us how full the batteries are. It's in a cyclic change right now, so even though it's showing half full and it's charging, pretty much when this is stationary and stops tonight, this will be virtually a full battery. And then 35.7 ampere hours is what we can use before this battery dies, so that's pretty cool. And back to voltage. I always like to set it on amps. I have OCD, I just always like to see what's coming in. And this panel will turn off. It is lit up, the backlighting is on. This panel will turn itself off when there's no more solar. The solar will start to flash and the charging light will disappear. So it's a pretty basic panel, and it's been better than I anticipated. I ran everything through the back of the fridge here. This is a temporary fix. I haven't figured out how to seal it completely. I have a 40 amp fuse right there, and I'd actually doubled up the cables to each panel, i.e. they have their own panel wiring coming into the control panel, just because I didn't want to really overload the circuit. Now, where did I bring it in? So if we look at the inside of the trailer, this is the door. Took it into here, and then I could drop it out the back, which I'll show you in a little while. And I managed to get it to this panel. A friend of mine works for RVs, and he suggested taking it into here. And the reason why is because that's the main power right there going to the battery. And I'm not going to take this panel off, but there is a second screw on the left of here. So this one is taken, if I get this right, sorry. The red one we're seeing in, that is the new 40 amp fused power coming in from the solar panels. The slightly darker one behind it goes to this first screw. This red one goes to the second screw, and that is a direct connection to the battery. I didn't have to run a ton of cable from the front to the back, etc., creating a lot of drain, or draw. Let's have a look at the panels on the roof. I know there's a bit of a glare right now. The reason why I put 2 panels on is the roof is slightly domed, and this will give us maximum effect as the sun travels up and over the trailer, depending on how we park. And it actually, considering the sun is not really, it's way over there, quite low, and we're getting 1 amp on those 2 panels, considering the sun is not directly in the sunlight, which I'm really happy about. So at low light, it's still producing amperage. Around about 8 o'clock in the morning with no sun on it at all, with a dull day, I'm getting about 0.8 of an amp. I'm really happy about that. That's the 2 new panels. 165, 165 watts each, and I've wired them each individually going into the vent for the fridge. And you can see the other set of wiring right there, and that goes down through that vent down to about here on the inside, and then goes into the fridge on the inside, and then from the controller it goes back down to there and then into the floor, and then it goes underneath of the floor into the mains controller for the trailer. So these wires here, this is there are 4, 2 reds and 2 blacks. They come from the solar controller inside of the trailer, right up sort of there, and the panels come from the panels to the controller. And like I said, the controller is around about here on the inside, so we have wires coming in to the controller, and they come out and they come all the way down into here. They actually go down through this hole into the panel, and that is where they are connected to the battery terminus. And we've sealed everything in with this is urethane. This is just spare urethane that I had kicking around the house, because when it comes to the fridge, you have to seal the fridge from anything coming inside, and that is why I haven't quite figured out how to seal the inside portion yet. So right in here we will actually have 8 wires, 4 red, 4 black, and I've put this one 40-amp fuse in there because I don't want it to blow. And that's the back end there that I've still got to seal. It has gone dark now outside, so the panels have not got any light on them, and you can see here the panel has actually turned itself off. I got no LED lights on here. The solar has disappeared, so there's no panel, and we are just, oh, actually it does say, it says 100% full. Look at that. That's really cool. So the batteries are 100% full, and this charge is doing really well. The big test is going to be this weekend for sure. This will be our first trip away with the new panels on the roof, and we are not taking the generator with us. We're not taking the portable solar with us. We're going to see what this does. Now, we already know where we're going. We're going to go to Langley, to Derby Reach, and that's Edgewater Campground, and we come back onto the Fraser River, which means that the sun will be traveling east to west over the back end of the trailer, so the panels will be exposed to sun all the time. I can't anticipate us using much electricity, but it is dark now. What are we in? September 4th, and the weather it's dark at 8:15 p.m. so we could be using a bit more electricity if we're not outside. Depends on the mosquitoes. We've heard that the mosquitoes are really bad. So, but that's the panel so far, and we'll give you a bit more information as we start using it. So the weather for the last day and a half has been overcast. Today's a little bit better than yesterday. Again, we've got this beautiful river view, but with the overcast and the rain that we had yesterday, the solar was working really well, and we were at about 2 amps yesterday max, 2.5 I think it was, and then today we're already at 1 amp, and the batteries have been doing really well, and we've been steady at 12.9. Midday yesterday we were at 13.8 volts. So it's not bad at all, and we haven't dropped below this 12.9 from last night even through the night to this morning. So our voltage is not dying off, and we are again putting in 1 amp. So just for a short test for a weekend and a dull day, as we can see, the weather hasn't really cooperated with us this weekend, and we have the smokes from Washington State blowing through the province. The solar has actually been working pretty damn good in my mind. So today is a pretty nasty day. It's the first time we've had rain in a really long time, and it's supposed to throw it down all day, but I just wanted to give you an update on the solar. This gives you the cloud cover ideal. So not brilliant today. So let's go and have a look at the solar. And we are already clicking in 0.7 of an amp, and it is currently 10:15 a.m. So we'll give you an update around lunchtime, midday, 1 o'clock to see how many amps we're kicking in. Okay, and of course the cloud cover keeps changing. We're now at 0.5. So, you know, it is what it is when it comes to the weather. Now bear in mind that my 2 panels, the ones closest to the trees, could end up having a shadow on them if it's in full sun. So that's why I've been strategically placing them around the roof to avoid the skylight cover and the AC housing, to stop any shadow. Because don't forget, if you get any shadow on your solar panels, it will eliminate at least half of its charge per panel. So you have to be really careful. And that's my experience that I've seen with various different panels that I have kicking around. So try and avoid any shadow whatsoever. So when it's in full sun, my left side panel is probably charging half-ish, and my right side panel is charging at full. Angles and shadows play a big part. So be aware of that. In full sun though, if you've got nothing around you and the way the sun's moving around, you should get quite a bit of amperage, and that's what I've been getting. It's been really good. So just bear that in mind. But again, we'll check in a bit later on this dull day and see how much this is in. Yes, it's only trickle charging. It's not giving you lots, but it's giving you a little bit back. And so depending on how much electricity you're using when you're boondocking, that's something you've got to take into consideration. We normally always come in and out, turn the lights on, turn the lights off, maybe use 1 light opposed to 6 lights, etc. But they are all LEDs, and we try to minimize what we've got. Okay, let's check in a bit later on. So as it progressed through the afternoon, the max I got is what we're getting now, and that's 1.3 amps. And we were getting around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock about 0.4 to 0.7 amps. So I hope you like this review of our solar panels. They've worked extremely well so far, bearing in mind we have not had them on for very long, about 3 weeks. We've had a lot of sun at home, and we've been away twice with the trailer now, and we've had mediocre and good weather, so it's not been too bad. So I believe they are CSUN solar panels, 165 watts each, and everything so far has worked out really well. We're really happy with it. Thanks for watching this review. If you like this channel, please subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Survive to be alive.